I've been working in this field for about 20 years. I've worked in everything from youth clubs and outreach projects and the youth prisons in Denmark, which are actually called surrogate prisons because they're very, very different and also very different from the English youth prisons. And I have basically always worked with people who were different, who worked with young criminals, people who didn't quite fit into what society considers to be normal. I am now working at something called Kofoed Skole, which was built or started in 1929 by a priest, and it was a self-help project based on the fact that if you teach people skills, then they can maybe cope with life in a different way. And he started with projects where you could come and fix your shoes, you could mend your clothes, you could have a bath, etc. And it's developed to what it is today. We have a giant organization. We have Baltic states. We have all over Denmark as well. We have in Poland, etc., etc. So it's a huge organization. And we always work with homeless people or people who have different psychosocial problems. I work in something called the youth department, where you can come and live if you're homeless. You have to come to us through your social worker. You have to be living on the streets and you have to have a lot of problems. We don't just take young kids who are looking for a flat and can't find one. And we help these people with living a normal life, which sounds very mundane, but if you've lived in streets all your life, or if you've been living in on your friends' couches or living in different social projects, it's actually very difficult to have a normal life, and it takes sometimes years to learn how to have a normal life again. This is a privately owned organization, which is very unusual in Denmark, because most organizations who do social work are actually run by the government or the local council. We are different in that respect, that it was started by a priest, and it's legacy based, and it still carries on receiving donations. I was phoned up last week by a priest who offered me £5,000 if I had a good project, which of course I have. Always got my drawers full of good projects. We are also partly government financed because the state actually pays for the young people who come and live with us. And we still receive a lot of testimonial presents. So it's actually a very rich organisation, which of course is a great advantage, and the money is really used very well. I was very fascinated by some of the projects that I was listening to people were talking about in their workshops, and I was very fascinated as well by the fact that people do have such big hearts and souls and they don't get paid for it. I wish some of that could rub off over here, and a lot of the projects that people were doing, the outreach projects, I was especially fascinated by the dance projects. I've become very inspired by those, and I actually contacted some dance teachers after I got back here, and a couple of old places that I've worked, I have a big network, contacted them and suggested that they started some dance classes, and they're working on that. I know there's one place who's going to start it next year. Generally, I think also the way that people are very systematic in their fundraising. I think a lot of that, the way that they work, I can transfer to my own work. Even though I don't actually fundraise publicly, I still have a boss that I have to go fundraising to when I have to convince him. And yeah, it was a fascinating day. It was.